Tonight on the super important show, the true story of Cocaine Bear, the number one place to find out about number 2, and the Monopoly game that went too far, or did it not go far enough. I am one of your hosts, Dustin Diodato, but with me is 2 other amazing people that let me introduce you to. First, let me introduce you to Heather Jules Booth. How you doing, Heather Jules Booth?
I'm great. I'm ready to be... I was going to make a Cocaine Bear joke, but I'm not into that stuff, so...
Okay, cool.
I can't make a good joke.
And our special guest, actor and writer and general comedian, Eric Moss. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I just got done with a marathon game of Monopoly.
Okay, cool.
Oh, man. Was it hardcore?
Isn't every game Monopoly a marathon game?
I lost a few friends.
Yeah. Eric, let people know who are you? What's your deal? What's the story of Eric Moss?
Well, I'm a screenwriter and an actor in New York City. I've been writing a lot of holiday rom-coms recently. It's a Christmas season.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Like, are you putting them up? Like, what's the?
I'm trying to make one.
Okay.
I've written them. Now I just got to make them.
All right.
I find some partners to help me make them.
I feel like Hallmark's not too choosy, but like that's not to say that they're not awesome. But it seems like they'll make, 180 days of rom-coms. Holiday rom-coms.
Well, Lifetime jacked my title, but I wrote this. It was called Lights Camera Christmas. Now I have to come up with a new one, but they took the title, so I gotta come up with a different name. That's like what I'm really struggling with.
That's bullshit, but we'll work on that. and Chad, if you can help him out, please do.
Lights Camera Christmas is pretty good.
Yes,
it's killer. Obviously, they took it.
All right, you guys.
Different story though. Different story.
You guys want to get into our first story?
Diving in. Let's
all right.
Dive in. Oh boy! All right, everybody. So, World You Crazy. So maybe some of you have been seeing this trailer for a movie called Cocaine Bear, which might also have a person formerly in the Armory as part of the cast. Also exciting. But Cocaine Bear is not just a cocaine-fueled fantasy. It is a real story. And here we are going to present the backstory of Cocaine
Do we want to do that in juxtaposition to the trailer? We'll like play the trailer on one side and you can tell the story on the other.
And I can tell the story about the story is so low key versus the actual bear. But yeah, if you want to, go for it. Cocaine Bear. Okay. There's our Armory friend.
Yeah.
Oh no, destruction because a bear had cocaine.
Yep. But
Scott definitely did not get paid enough or did not get enough overtime as per his TikToks. There's the bear, it's on cocaine, and it's like, Smokey's here to get you. And he's like, oh no, this bear's got cocaine. That bear is high AF.
Yep. And
now we see that is Ray Liotta, or it was almost Ray Liotta, RIP, as the drug smuggler, who turns out the real story is that this guy was a drug smuggler, put too much cocaine on his parachute pack and died because he just tried to smuggle too much, and a bear found it. There's the bear. He's finding it. Oh, he's eating it. That bear is getting high. Of course. Oh my God, look at this bear. I haven't seen this trailer yet. This is amazing. Look at that bear slide.
That bear is awesome.
Yeah. So the bear finds these bricks of cocaine and gets high. In reality, the real story is more like that the bear just found the brick of cocaine, ate it, and died. It is much less exciting. It's actually rather sad. The bear was found and then got taxidermied and then for years was just in a restaurant somewhere or a mall. And they can't prove that this bear ever actually murdered anybody or went on a rampage. However, when presented with such a blank story, how could you not present a bear on a murderous cocaine rampage? It does take place in the 80s. Big surprise, because oh my God, look at the bear. He's sneezing that coke. It's got so much. Oh, he's like, it's a butterfly. I get that butterfly. Look. Oh, look at him eating that arm, sniffing cocaine off the denim. Oh my God.
Right, he's got a problem now. It's serious.
Oh my God, this bear has a problem. I was also reading a side story about Elizabeth Banks, who directed this. So this movie is intended as a dark comedy, which is why like Elizabeth Banks is directing it. Our friend Scott is in it. Our former Armory colleague, I should say, is in it. I think there's a couple other people who are skewed towards comedy. So it's intended as a dark comedy. But Elizabeth Banks apparently also said it's intended as like a sad revenge story for the bear, because it was terrible that this bear like ate cocaine and died and then got taxidermied for a while. So she's like, this is the revenge also for the bear.
He was
which
like,
I was like, all right.
wasn't like the body and like some like famous musician had him in his house too. I forget who it was. But,
yes, I read it. It was oh my god, I just read this and I was like, Waylon. It was Waylon.
Yeah.
I forget his first name, but
Jennings? Is it
yes,
Waylon
thank
Jennings?
you.
Yeah.
Waylon Jennings. There you go.
Yeah.
Forgot his last name. I knew the name Waylon was in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, he found it and had him for a while. Yeah. We have somebody waiting for the sequel, Heroin Wolf.
I mean,
I feel like that's a very boring sequel. Like what would really happen?
Yeah. Everandus, I'm going to say that's how you pronounce that.
Great.
I'm going to say that the true sequel is Cocaine Bears on a Plane.
Oh my god, that would be amazing. What about Cocaine Snakes on a Plane?
Yeah, I would also buy that.
Oh, that would be amazing.
I feel like it'd be like Con Air.
Yeah. Yeah.
They escape the cargo load and the bears take over the plane.
Yeah.
Awesome.
God.
Awesome. Now that movie, I want to see both movies. I want to see all the movies that we're mentioning.
Yeah, I would watch all of these sequels.
Yeah.
Honestly, it would be really fun if they started spinning off kind of like Sharknado and just started becoming a series. I would absolutely watch this, like a series of crazy CGI. And that's what I like about this bear thing. It's very clear that they like stuck to it being sort of CGI looking. And I like that. That's very charming. So yeah, you could have just like a series of drug animal.
So
But then it just starts getting really ridiculous. I'm not super up on my drug lingo, but like it would just be like ridiculous, like some party drugs or something, and some ridiculous animal.
right, just keep going. Yeah, we just make them super easy. Here's the thing I found out recently is that I have like the Amazon. I want to say the name of it, but I can't because I have one right by me and it'll start talking to me.
Oh, and it'll start talking. Yes.
Yeah. So I found out that when the alarm goes off, you can get it to be both of the people from Sharknado, to be like, hey, watch out for a shark kind of thing. Here's the thing. I just discovered that, which means Joy, who hates Sharknado, I could change it to that, and she would have no idea how to change it back. She would kill me in my sleep. But just,
I assume she's not watching tonight.
I believe she is in transit, coming back, and we'll watch this part of the show later.
You have about a 20-minute head start in making this happen.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Yeah, but you'll be awake, so she can't kill you in your sleep.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. She threatens to kill me in my sleep all the time, and I'm putting that on tape so that when it happens, people know where it came from.
I'm going to the Cocaine Bear first, but then we have it on record.
Right, that's true. There is a good chance that a Cocaine Bear will be in my apartment.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else on this, or do we want to move on to our story number 2?
Anyone have any further thoughts on it?
I agree with you that I'm bummed out for this bear that probably just died because he didn't.
Oh yeah.
Because bears don't know how much cocaine their bodies can handle. It's unfair. There was probably like a 7-minute period of time where the bear was like really rocking out, and then it got bad fast.
And then probably just had a heart attack, like truly.
Yeah. But for like 7 minutes, the bear was like, wow. Like, I don't know what cocaine does, but I'm assuming like good stuff. So, I'm assuming there was like a few minutes where it was great, and then real bad.
The bear was like, I'm invincible, or like all the honey, or whatever bear stereotypes there are.
Yeah. I also thought, like, I think the parachute guy was like initially just like throwing the cocaine because it was like too heavy.
Yeah, he knew it was too heavy, so he was trying to like get rid of it, but it didn't help. And I love the cheekiness of the fact that they made it Ray Liotta. That's so cheeky. In his last film
role.
I know, his last film role.
He goes out on fucking Cocaine Bear. Ray Liotta. The other thing I also found interesting about it was that they didn't find all the coke.
Right.
So that means there was probably like some dudes in the woods who like it was just like raining cocaine, and they're like, all right.
I would assume so. Right. They were like,
yeah.
What? Yeah.
Yeah. There's somebody who is telling that story to this day.
They're like, kids, you won't believe it.
Yeah.
One day, Grandpa was walking through the woods.
Yeah. If you
What'd you find, Grandpa? I found a very special powder.
Right. If you hope for cocaine enough, it'll come from the sky.
You hope for.
Yeah.
Manifested it.
Yeah. All right, Eric, your turn. Tell us your story.
Well, not everything's okay in Oklahoma. This family was playing a hearty game of Monopoly, and one thing led to another. There was a gun drawn, the furniture was flipped over, somebody got a scratch on his head, and the crazy uncle went to jail, like usual.
Yep.
But
like usual.
Finally.
yeah, finally. But yeah, this Monopoly game broke out into like the classic Monopoly family feud, but it escalated into the police being called and crazy uncle getting pulled away.
It is shocking to me that this doesn't happen more often. That is a game designed for everybody to be a dick. For like it is like, and it's all like here's some like, first of all, it's designed for everybody to be a dick. Second, it's designed to be like 11 hours long.
Yes.
So that like even
so
if
you're stressed out and starting to get angry. Yeah.
Right. Like anybody knows you can hang out with your family for like a couple of hours, maybe, before everybody's like, hey, what the fuck? This game is designed to go on longer than that. So it's designed for somebody to pull a gun. So the fact that like we don't do the story every week, to me, is surprising.
Yeah, it's true. It is surprising. Also, I think, Dustin, were you there? I think you were did you play the Monopoly the time we were all on that in trip?
I did not. No, I would never do that.
You didn't play? Okay. So we went on one of these Armory in trips, and we Dustin and I know this guy named Kevin McNair, and he takes his games very, very seriously. And he was like, okay, we're going to play Monopoly. Can we play like, I forget what he called it, like off rules or something. And he was like dealing money. He would lean over and he'd go, okay, but if you don't take that roll, and he would hand you Monopoly money, like not real money, but he'd be like, I'll give you $500 if you don't sell that board. Like, it was hilarious. But I immediately heard this story and I was like, McNair. Yeah. Not that I think he would pull a gun on anyone, and not at all. But
did he win?
He did. We didn't finish the game, but he was winning.
No, you didn't finish the game.
Kate's like, that is extremely McNair. Yeah, it was so fun. Kate, it was so funny. It was truly, really, really funny.
I've told this story on the show before, but for folks who have not watched it before, and for Eric, who is not here, when I told it before, the most unbelievable thing that I've ever seen in adult entertainment, meaning pornography, was when I was in college. We got like free Playboy channel for a day, and we watched like the ridiculous like. It was like 24 hours of, and we invited people over. There was constantly like 20 people in my apartment because free Playboy. But one of the things that happened was there was one scene where there's like a couple just sitting there like, and they're finishing a Monopoly game, and they finish the game. Two people in a Monopoly game. They finish the game and they go, "Do you want to play another game?" And the person says yes. And I was like, no two people in the history of anything have ever played a one-on-one Monopoly game twice in a row.
Wait,
that
and
has
that was
never
not
happened.
A euphemism for something else.
It was not even. They started going to play the game again, and then got interrupted and started doing it.
But other
like
things, right?
But their intention was to play a second game of Monopoly after the first game of Monopoly. I will buy the cheerleader crap. I will buy every other crazy fucking thing that happens in porn before I buy two people playing Monopoly, two games of Monopoly in a row. It's never happened and it never will.
Me too. If there was like, hey, do you want to play another game? Yes. And then you just like insert any kind of Monopoly-based street name, railroad, any of it, pun, joke, like.
Right. And then just got sex. No, they just started playing another game.
My watch was like, I don't understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
Nothing.
good.
Stop.
Good watch. Good.
Good. You don't want to
Yeah.
know.
Eric, would you play 2 Monopoly games in a row?
Never. I don't think I've ever finished one.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, would you
I don't
play?
think I have either.
Would you play 2 Monopoly games in a month?
No.
Right.
No.
That's all I'm
Monopoly's
saying.
like maybe twice a year. I think like it's a twice a year thing.
Right.
And it's like the first time you play it, you're like, this is really fun. I should do this more. And then a couple months later, you play another game and you're like, this is cool.
It usually lasts
Yeah.
like 40 minutes for me. Like, okay, this is a fun game. We're having
Right.
fun.
And you're
And
like,
then-
I'm done.
And then you start mortgaging off your properties.
Right.
Yeah.
To your
Right.
friends or your family. And you're like, I'm
Right.
just doing business deals.
Right.
Right.
People
And
that are taking advantage of me.
And then some dick gets all 4 railroads at the same time, and you win on it a bunch of times, and you're like, "Fuck that guy!" Like I'm,
I take my money, I'm out.
Yeah, you're like, it's fine. Just take it.
yeah,
Eh.
yeah. It's Anyway, anything
Can you
else?
talk about this Playboy channel purge that your college
Yeah.
went on?
Also,
Like, it
I'm
feels
glad
like
you're asking this, Eric, because I'm also curious about
like
this.
your university is just like, okay, one day a year.
No,
But
I was,
also,
no.
Everybody
was
gets
like,
it.
Dustin was like, everybody came over to my room because it was just my room. Like, so it was
No,
just
it was,
you?
it was off campus. I was off campus,
Okay.
so it was like
Oh, I thought you
anybody
said
who.
all campus. I'm like, wow.
Oh no, no! It was.
Bold
It was.
choice.
We were living. I was living with my friends off campus, and like anybody who had this cable thing could get it, but like we were the people who were like, okay, like.
They built a schedule and everybody had a
We'll
different
take it
day
for a
of the
day,
week for
yeah.
a year.
Yeah, it had my 2 favorite porn things ever. It had that, and as I've mentioned before, it's something that I have looked for since that day and never been able to find any trace of it, is White Trash and the Robot. It was like a half an hour thing with a theme song called White Trash and the Robot, and it was a lady, it was a guy who was sitting in the kitchen poorly dressed like a robot who kept asking for oil, and his wife would occasionally go to the door and have sex with whoever came to the door. And it was
And that
one
was
of the
how she got oil?
No, it was just the thing that she did. It was not. She was not bartering for oil. It was just that, like, she was
This is
white trash
absurd.
and he was a robot, and it happened. Like, that's what I remember from it. Admittedly, it was a long time ago.
Dustin, I am sure if you post on Reddit, they will find that.
I will try. I don't
You
know
should.
what Reddit do
They'll
I
find
go
it.
to.
I don't know because those aren't boards that I would frequent, but I
Right.
imagine
Eric, you
there
know.
has to be-
You
well,
must
no,
know.
There has to be
I'll send
one
you
that's
some
like
links.
help me find this thing, and it doesn't have to be, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have to go into the dark web for that one.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Do that. Do that because I'm afraid.
Also, just to point out, Joy has joined us late to the game, and Joy says marijuana possums,
Yes.
which would be very funny.
And also that I'm in trouble.
Yes, she did say you were in trouble.
Yes. Cool. Anything else on Family Monopoly, or have we?
Well, okay, I did want to say that
Okay.
never got a chance to use his get out of jail free card.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right. I think that brings us to my story.
I think Suji is directing this to you, Dustin.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a guess. I don't think
What is
this is
that?
directed towards me and Eric.
Is there too much about my interest? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look. It was a bunch of. Everybody came over. It wasn't just me. Okay?
Yeah, I bet.
Oh God.
Never finished that white trash with a robot one, huh?
It was.
I like that Dustin's
funny.
gold standard is like, no, the holy grail that I can never find. And it's just this freaking absurd. It sounds like the world's most absurd, like Terry Gilliam porn,
It is.
bizarre.
That's why I want to see it. That's why I want to go back and see it again.
Find it.
Because it, like, there's a part of me that feels like it was a fever dream. Like, there's a part of me that thinks, like, maybe this didn't happen. But every once in a while, I'll speak to one of the people who was there, and they
They're like,
agree
yes.
that
They're
it
like,
happened.
yes, it was a thing. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
It was an important day in our college experience. That, like, weird,
mean?
hey, let's all watch Playboy Channel together. And it was like, because it's softcore, guys. We weren't, like, being weird. It
Oh,
was
okay.
just,
Yeah, you
know.
weren't sitting around in a circle and watching shit.
Bunch
Yeah.
of
Right.
dudes just hanging
Right.
out in the room.
Yeah, it
together.
was guys
Hanging
and
out,
ladies.
yeah.
First of all, it was guys, and there were more ladies than there were guys. Okay, I just want to point that out.
All right. Equal
So
opportunity.
yeah,
That's fair.
we were all having a good time. But yeah, it was
It's a different time.
It was a different time. Yeah, like look, I'm old. We didn't have the internet to go look for things. Like this was it, man. This was like the big day. All right, enough on that. I am putting too many things on the internet that I shouldn't be. But here we go. Okay, our third story is about a ridiculous museum. Look, I love you, Japan. You keep getting crazier and crazier every week. This week we're talking about the Poop Museum. They've opened up not one, not two, but 3 different locations, all in Japan, which isn't like crazy big. To have 3 different locations of poop museums where you can go and learn more about poop. They're trying to make it less taboo. Let me go to my notes because there are 6 different like sections. It's not even just like it's a museum where you like, you know, the way like if you go to like a hometown museum, like I go to Northport. I used to grow up in Northport, and you'd go to the Whaling Museum. And the Whaling Museum was like a room. You know, they'd be like, hey.
I have been there. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like a real bullshit museum. This is not. This is like full on museum. So they have, I don't think Michelle's here, and I'm so disappointed for that because like this is such a Michelle story.
Yes, this is a Michelle story.
Yeah, so technically it's called the Unco Museum, which just means poop. And it aims to, like the article said, it aims to dispel the stench of Unco hate and create a fun and interactive space where people all over the world can share in their love of poop. I did not know that people all over the world had a love of poop, but yeah.
Oh, people do.
Okay.
Yeah. People do love poop.
Yeah. So there's one section called the Unstagedic. I don't know what it is. I'm not even going to give the names because they're all like weird puns that I don't even fully understand. There's one place that's like the photogenic space where guests can get their crappiest grammable photos alongside various colorful poop. There's the interactive area where use your body to step on projected poos. This is a great place to get in touch with your inner child sense of scat humor. There's the intelligence space where make use of the academia here to learn more about stool. See pop art drawn by artists from around the world. There's the gift shop, known as the Poop Factory, where you can find crap to bring home here. There's the Crappy Arcade, where you can enjoy addicting games and try to get the high score. And ultimately, there's a room that is it's called a poop power spot, watched over by Unco's Museum's cosmic deity, Umberto. So I believe the first picture I have from this is of Umberto.
Can't wait.
I think or like his room, his weird room where he's watching over. This is like the basic like.
This is pretty much what I pictured. Yep.
Yeah, this is the center of it. So then, part of the interactive room is where you go in to all these
like
toilets.
The overlaid, shadowed people.
Yeah.
Your potential poop guests. Wow.
So here,
why are they all miming reading papers?
They're all mining like squeezing to poop because that's part of it. They count them all down to like poop, and then for a very good reason because magically, when you're done making that little thing, there's the poop in the toilet.
Whoa!
And you reach into the toilet.
It's like a Cabbage Patch pooping doll.
Yep.
Wow! Look at this. Look at this.
And if you're thinking to yourself, like,
New York would never do this, and they should
have a poop museum.
Yes.
Here's why they shouldn't. This is
people will really poop.
Yeah, because here's the thing: like, you would think based on this museum that you're like, okay, this is all like you're teaching you about poop, but it's all like comic, right? Like it's like all the poops are shaped like like soft serve ice cream or whatever. Except no, because when you get to the academia part, like they show you all the different examples of poop. There is a 0% chance that in New York someone isn't gonna poop on the thing. Like like every day there's gonna be real poop somewhere.
Oh my God, some of these are horrifying.
Yes.
What's going on? Number 5.
I am not disagreeing with any of your statement.
Wow.
Yeah, that's someone you don't want.
Yeah.
That does not look good.
The number one behind it, number 6, is also like.
Yeah, that is also not.
you imagine being the person crafting this? It's like, okay.
Right.
That's what I was like. Somebody crafted these.
Like
Somebody sat down and crafted these.
Like, it seems like fun until you realize that you have some sort of internal disease thing that, like, you're learning about.
Right.
So I
Right.
guess that's good. But, so there are locations in, if you want to go, I don't know how to say the first one, so I will just say, it's spelled Fukuoka, but I don't know how to pronounce that. And then in Hiroshima, and then in Yokohama. So next time you visit Japan, check out the Poop Museum because why wouldn't you? What's that?
No, nothing. Keep going.
You're gonna say something horrible?
Yes, keep going. I'm not going to say it.
I mean, that's all I got. Would you guys go to this museum if there was one in Times Square? I mean, not Times Square because we're not going.
No,
we're New Yorkers.
I
We're
was
not
just
going
going
to
to say that's the deal breaker part.
Right. If there's one like in a place that we don't hate going, would you go to the Poop Museum? Would you sit on one of those toilets and fake poop?
I probably would.
You would.
Yeah, I would.
Why?
Because it just looks kitschy and fun. But I wouldn't want to not if it was like $50. Because if it's like some bullshit New York City price.
Yeah,
No.
you gotta get that toy poop.
Right, that's
That
true.
means
You gotta
work
get the toy
good.
poop.
Yeah, I don't know what comments we put up, but I agree that
Oh, it's just
like,
about the
ew.
holding. Kate says if you have a dog, the whole city is a poop museum.
Yep.
That's what I was
Troy
thinking.
says
like-
real poop somewhere. That's New York City. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Eric, you going to the Poop Museum?
Yeah, I'll go as long as it's very colorful and not just brown.
Okay, so you would want the cartoony part of it and not the
Yeah,
not the
Like the
actually like
overlord
educational
or-
part. Yeah.
I'd like to learn more about this god of poop.
Okay.
think
Yeah.
that's-
Umberto.
Right. And what's it, Umberto? Yeah.
I think that's the most appealing thing to me. Like, what is this religion that they have developed in the poop museum?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
And Dustin,
Yeah.
what if we managed to tie it together and it was poop loops?
Oh, that's so much worse. Because for those who we have a Snoop Loops thing going, Poop Loops. I'm anti-poop. I would never go to this museum in the history of.
Anti-poop?
Yeah.
Are you anti yourself?
No, are you calling me
You're
poop?
Not that you
You're
are a
calling me
poop, but everyone poops.
Right, and I get rid of it right away. Like I don't hang on to
Sitting
it.
around, I don't think anyone is
You don't
sitting around
hold it?
being like,
Oh, this is nice.
Right, I'm just saying. Like yes, I do poop, but that doesn't mean like I'm into it. I'm not like excited about it. I'm not telling people. It's just a thing that like I have to do. I'm very
you have
against.
to do.
I'm very
You can
like
poop.
yeah. I'm not one of those people that like finds poop funny. I just except
Alright.
for this story, except for how
Alright.
ridiculous the story is. All right. So before we move on to our next segment, this is my regular reminder to like and subscribe. It helps us a ton for you to let people know that you enjoyed this content, and it'll help you know when we're going to be on the air next. So please, if you can, like and subscribe. That'd be wonderful. It's right below this little video. And if you're watching this later, do it anyway, because that also helps. And comment, because we will respond to your comments. And it's just a good time. We're just having a good time. All right. That brings us to our next segment, which is What the Fact. In this segment, for folks who have not seen the show before, we go through and ask. I will ask Heather and Eric 3 questions that they probably don't know the answer to. We'll try and guess. If you do know the answer to it, then I probably messed up. And folks in the chat, please play along, and you can try and guess, and we'll see who's right. So let's go to our very first question for What the Fact, which is, the rock band Lynyrd Skynyrd was named after what? And I'm going to go to you first, Eric. I'm going to give you our choices. Do you already know the answer to this? I'm hoping you
No, I
don't.
don't.
Okay. Were they named after a nerdy puppet clown on a local TV show, a gym teacher that wanted them to cut their hair, or a take on the name of a local strip club in the area? One of those 3 is what inspired the name Lynyrd Skynyrd. Which do you think that it is? And chat, again, feel free to play along.
Oh, this is a tough one.
Yeah, it's one of these
I'd like-
3.
I would say A.
A nerdy puppet clown from local TV. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, we got We got Kate and Topping going for gym teacher. So Heather, how does that affect your answer?
So first of all, I'm mad because I've definitely heard this story at one point, but I've completely forgotten what the answer is.
Okay.
I don't remember, and I'm annoyed because I know that when I heard the story, I was like, oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with A.
Okay, you're good, because...
My gut is saying to go with Puppet Clown.
All right, Sujatha and Joy are agreeing with you. So you're you're in good company.
I do think C is amazing. Actually, B and C are amazing. They're all amazing, honestly. They're all funny.
So you're going with A.
I'll go with A.
Eric, were you going with A also? I forgot.
I'm going with A.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry for the A's. It actually is a gym teacher. It was when two of the members were in high school. A gym teacher by the name of Leonard Skinner kept telling them that they would get in trouble if they didn't cut their hair because it was hard for them to play gym with such long hair. And it was like the 70s, and everybody was like, "Screw you, hippie." So now you know Leonard Skinner was named after a gym teacher.
And then they made him famous.
Right? Yeah. Question number 2. Which of these things caused over 250,000 divorces in Egypt in 1 year? Like, this was written on their divorce papers. This is what caused them to get divorced. How
did we know? Wait.
Like they physically, like, on their divorce papers, they wrote, this is why we're getting divorced. Was it the TV show Baywatch? Was it the Sony PlayStation? Or was it the game of ping pong? One of these things destroyed 250,000 marriages in Egypt alone. Heather, since I already have you on the screen, I'm going to have you go first.
So I want to just throw out there that when you first said this question without the choices, I thought that we meant it was ancient Egypt.
No.
And immediately I wanted to ask you, how do they know? Where do they have these records? Like, I didn't even know divorce existed back then, like, as a thing. I thought you probably just woke up one morning and went, I'm done. Thank you so much. Kate is with me on this. Kate also thought this is what you meant.
Yeah.
Joy as well. Yeah. I'm on board with that version of this. However, in the world of reality of what we're playing, gosh, I really want to go with ping pong.
You want to go with ping pong?
I'm going to go with ping pong because I really don't have a clue of what the answer is, and I love ping pong as an answer. I think that is so funny. Like, could you imagine people just getting in that much of a fight about ping pong? So let's do it.
All right, we're going to go with ping pong. Eric, what are you thinking?
I like imagining that world where ping pong is so like, crucial to a relationship. Like, I'm going to go with A.
You're going to go with A? Okay.
Because there's no year on that this statistic came out, and I feel like, I don't know, when Baywatch first came out, there's a lot of babes on Baywatch.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. We got, in chat, we got a bunch of good answers. We got Heather, or Toppings going with ping pong. Kate's going PlayStation. Also is,
Yep.
Marissa
says ping pong brings out the worsener.
Okay.
Kate's going with PlayStation.
Yeah. So everybody's pretty split on this one, except for Kate's the only person going PlayStation. And guess what, Kate? You are the winner. It is the Sony PlayStation.
Sony PlayStation?
Yep. Guys were playing too many video games, and they were just like, and I'm assuming it was guys, and wives were just like, screw it. Or maybe the other way around. Whatever it is.
Right. Either way.
Yeah.
One person was obsessive, and the other person was not. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. That was literally written on their divorce papers is the PlayStation. It's like
PlayStation.
Yeah.
Wow.
And 35,000 additional marriages. I was going to go with this statistic, but I'm giving it to you guys now. 35,000 additional marriages were destroyed by the game Candy Crush alone.
Wow.
35,000 people wrote that on their divorce papers. The Candy Crush made us do this. I've hit the wrong thing somewhere on my computer. Okay. Question number 3. Our last question of What the Fact. You ready?
All right.
In 1942, the BBC banned what song during working hours because they feared it would distract people? 1942. Was it Chattanooga Choo Choo? Was it Pistol Packin' Mama? Or was it Deep in the Heart of Texas? The BBC felt one of these songs would make it so that people just couldn't work anymore.
It's the BBC.
Yep.
I wish I knew all the songs.
Eric, I will come to you first, or I'll let Heather go first because I feel like Heather's more likely to know these songs. So Heather, I'm going to come to you first.
I do. So I am in agreement with Joy. I'm going to go with A.
Okay.
And I'm going to assume that the fear is that people were just going to get up out of their seats and start dancing too much. And that's why they had to ban it.
The Chattanooga Choo Choo is just too catchy.
It's just too much. You can't hear it and not start like wanting to dance. So.
All right.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. I've got agreement here. Yep.
All right. Because people want to dance is also from Jonathan. Eric, what do you think? Are you going to go along with the Chattanooga Choo Choo train?
I can't do it.
Okay.
I really want to say Pistol Pack and Mama, but I don't think it's going to be that. They're in the war right now. British are fighting a big war.
Yeah.
I think they'd like that. I'm going to go with Deep in the Heart of Texas.
Okay.
Just because it's the BBC. Maybe they don't want people to think about the United States. I don't know.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. We got a choice B from Kate. Eric's the only one who's going C.
Okay.
And he is right. It is Deep in the Heart of Texas.
What?
And yeah, and I will explain to you why. I have to get everything up and running. Oh no, wrong video.
Cocaine Bear.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why.
So, because Cocaine Bear. Because
oh my God, Cocaine Bear.
because here's why.
The stars at night are big and bright. Deep in the heart of Texas.
The clapping is the reason.
In the chat.
The prairie sky is wide and high.
The BBC was concerned that people at work would stop and clap every time they got to that part in the song and stop doing whatever their job was.
Not do their factory work or whatever.
They couldn't keep themselves from clapping. So that is the reason why the BBC banned that song from being played during working hours. Just a weird thing.
Hilarious.
Also,
they had to deal with the choo-choo after that.
Yeah.
Also, how often are they playing Deep in the Heart of Texas?
Yeah.
In England, like in the UK.
I wouldn't even think it would make it over there, but
yeah. Sujata, that makes sense. They went.
What do I know?
Had a war to win. Yeah. So that's that. Share that far and wide because it's a fucking weird ass thing that now we know. Cool. That's the end of our What the Fact, guys. I hope we enjoyed them and we can bring them into our future lives.
I will definitely be sharing that one. That's a great one. They're all good, but that's
which brings us to our final segment, which is Would You Rather? Heather, do you want to kick us off?
I would be more than happy to. All right. Would you rather? So, would you rather have a live, like I assume that means live studio audience, react to everything in your life, but there is a parenthetical here that has been added, except sexy stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Or would you rather have a narrator comment on your life that you can hear?
Right. With the same caveat of because I feel like either of those things being around when you're doing it probably would be a deal breaker. But so let's just.
I don't know. I think that's got to be.
Right. I guess it depends on what you're into. I mean, it's your question. So technically, if you want to, and we could learn a lot about each other, but whether or not we want to have a live audience when we're doing it. So anyway, your question. So take it where you want to take it.
So Eric, what I always go to the guest first. So would you rather a live studio audience or a live narrator that only you can hear?
Oh, only I can hear.
Well, what can only? I mean, is that the understanding that only you can hear the narrator, or can other people hear the narrator?
No, I think only you can. I mean, it's your question, but I would say only you can hear it. Yeah.
I interpreted it that way.
Joy's asking,
Joy makes a really good. Yeah. Joy's
insightful.
question is really good. Is the narrator insightful? No, I think the narrator is just narrating. It's like a book. It's like the narrator is like, she picked up the jar of olives and decided she wasn't hungry. Back in the fridge they went. I think that's, yeah.
Eric started on his 8th cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Only 9. I think I would go with the live narrator, and I'd like the narrator to sound like the voice of Bop It. Twist it. Bop it.
That's what you want?
Pull it. You guys were talking about sexy time. I'm like, I figured crib notes would be insightful.
Marissa in the chat is asking if the narrator can be John Malkovich. I'm going to go ahead and say the narrator can be anyone you want. You personally would like that.
Yeah, I choose Bop It guy. I choose Bop It.
You're going Bop It. Okay.
Just real precise language.
Right? I feel like somewhere Morgan Freeman's like, what? Like, you could have had me and you went with Bop It? All right.
Yeah.
All right. That's fine.
Coffee. Spaghetti. All right.
All right, Dustin.
This is
coming to you.
This is very easy for me. Live studio audience, 100%.
Oh, wow.
Because here's the thing that you guys are forgetting. The narrator can go either way. The narrator could be like, and that was a dumb move by Dustin. But the studio audience, like, they're on my side, man. Everything I know about a studio audience means when I walk into the room, they're going to cheer. When I make a joke, they're going to laugh. Like, I need the positive reinforcement that comes with a live studio audience surrounding me all the time. Think about, like, when you wake up, if you got applause every time you wake up, it'd be great. Versus just having a narrator go like, and then he woke up. Like, so, like, if the narrator was, like, giving me info, then I would go narrator, because then, like, like, if I was like, hey, I think I'm going to, buy this thing, he's like, and that was a mistake. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to buy it. Then great.
No. Yeah,
right.
no.
Right. But if they're
in
not.
fact, it's like you would learn the mistake and then the narrator would be like, that was when Dustin realized it was a mistake.
Yeah. Like, then like, fuck that guy. I don't need, like, I want the positive reinforcement that comes with a live studio audience laughing and cheering and, like, oohing and whatever kind of, like,
You hold a puppy and it's like, oh.
Yeah, of course I want that. Like, who doesn't want that in their life? Like, I'm definitely going with that. They don't, Sujata, they don't mock you. That's the thing about a live studio audience. They're not making those noises like, on their own. Like, there's a sign, there's a stage manager somewhere saying, like, go make that noise. So, like, I'm assuming the stage manager in this scenario is on my side. So
now you also have a stage manager.
Yeah, but I don't see the stage manager. The stage manager is just like,
What if they're the narrator?
They could be.
What if you're the villain of this plot?
Right.
I am a very good person. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but, like, I am, and I'm going stage manager. If I'm the villain, I'm the villain. At least I'll find that out. But
Marissa would like the live studio audience to be Muppets. They can be Marissa.
Yeah.
Joy is pointing out that your live YouTube audience is not always on your side.
No,
so,
correction. The live YouTube audience is never on my side.
Right.
No.
So, like, there you go. Right. Is that your studio audience?
Right, because I don't have a stage manager. If I had a stage manager saying to agree with me, then it would work out.
Stage managers don't always have to agree with you, though. They're there to, like, keep the peace between the artists and the creatives and keep everything running. What if you, like, go to do something and the stage manager is like, well, that's a mistake.
I think I would have a very good relationship with the stage manager. That's all I'm saying. So what's your choice? What's your choice?
I would go with live narrator.
Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, I will say that as somebody who did so much creative writing when I was younger, like, that's all I did when I was young. Like, not all I did, but, like, when I was younger, I had, like, several outlets, most of which were, like, listening to music or creative writing. I definitely went through an entire period where I just live narrated in my brain, anything.
Okay.
So that just feels very natural to me. Like, it wouldn't bother me. I have been a crazy teenager who 100% in my head would hear, like, and then she ate the piece of cheese. And it's very dumb, but I could live with it. I think the studio audience would bug me. I think 2 days of me waking up and the studio audience going, woo, 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 and I would be like, would you all just shut the fuck up? So I'm going to say no.
But here's the thing you didn't think about. Okay. Yes, you're right. Yeah. I got you. But I'm going to Eric on this. Like, in terms of, like, you're a stand-up comedian. Like, you do that kind of stuff like that, right? So So you think about this. If you have the live studio audience, that means that you can speak to the live studio audience. So you can have that, like, you know, you believe this guy? Like, kind of thing. Like, I always wanted to talk to the live studio audience, and if I had a live studio audience, I could. So I could just sort of make jokes when I'm, like, you know, around, and they're gonna land. Because the live studio audience never doesn't laugh at your jokes. So even if you're doing a stand-up set and you bomb, the live studio audience is gonna love it, because that's how live studio audiences work. So I'm just, have you changed your mind based on my argument that I just made? You can say no.
I don't know. Are you saying, like, in the middle of a conversation that or an argument or Monopoly, let's say,
right?
And you're like losing? Do you like break out into the fourth wall? You're like, get a load of this guy.
Right? Yes, you can, because you got a live studio audience there.
Saved by the Bell or any of those?
Yeah.
But do the people that you're with know that the live audience is?
No, that's the beauty of it, because when you talk to the live studio audience, like, in my mind, like, time stops. So, like, they don't know that you're talking to the live studio audience. Like,
I don't think so. No, I don't think time stops.
Of course it stops. Of course it
This
stops.
is happening in real time.
What is this universe that you've created?
Okay, then yeah, I'm still gonna fucking do it. I'm still gonna do it. I don't care.
I know you are. I know
Yeah.
you're still doing it. I know you are. I will point out, it's interesting that you bring up the argument about stand-up, because I do not do stand-up. And I do not have an impulse to... I mean, I do sometimes have an impulse where I want to, like, make a comment or something, but I usually just do that with my coworkers, or if I'm at home with my husband, and I'll just be like, can you believe this bullshit? This is stupid.
Right, I just want to be able to do that wherever. Okay, let's move on to question number...
No, Dustin, no one is stopping you. There is nothing stopping you from just looking around.
Nobody's hearing it. Nobody's, like...
The universe hears it.
You can put it on your phone and just play it.
Yeah. You could you have that Amazon thing that we won't yell the name of, but you could program that to respond.
It's not the same as a live studio audience.
Alan, clap.
Yeah. I mean, they will. I mean, she will. Yeah. She'll do it. Yeah. But it's not the same. I want to feel the raw, like, human energy of...
Okay.
How many people are in this audience?
And then who's
like,
the one again that had the free day of college porn? Yep.
That's a different
I
thing.
want to feel the raw energy. All right.
The audience wasn't there for that one. It was...
The audience was not there for that. No, they were not.
All right. Moving on to question number 2. Eric, take it away so that
This is a question that's plagued me for a long time. Would you rather fart during a first date with a partner that you've had a crush on for a long time, or fart during a important work presentation?
All right, who you giving it to first?
Let's go with Heather.
I would go with the first date, because I feel like this is a thing that will happen in life and in our relationship. Therefore, test the waters, see what the response is now. Yeah. See what if they're just like, that's disgusting, no woman should ever fart, I'm just gonna be like, all right, and no one will date you, cool, and I would flip them off and leave. I would not necessarily want to fart at a work presentation, especially because it's a presentation. It's not like you're just sitting there quietly and you can try and, like, sneak a fart, you're like, it's a presentation.
Your chair's really squeaky today.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what? Yeah. Man, your chair's really, it's loud today. It's so weird. Oh, I know, I gotta oil it.
Justin, what's
So you're not going to be surprised by this fact, but I disagree with you, Heather, because that's what we do. Okay, so I understand your argument of you're testing the waters and you're saying, like, hey, which I get. But it's sort of like that thing where, like, everybody lies on their resume. Like my assumption is going into that date that the person is going to be, like, at the top of their game. That they're trying to be as good as they can. So if they're just, like, farting up a storm on that date, I'm assuming that it goes way downhill from there. I'm assuming that this is their best and it gets real bad. So, like, it's... You know what I mean? Like, so, like, I don't need that. Like, so I would go with the work meeting, because I feel like the date thing could ruin a relationship that you're hoping lasts forever. Whereas the work thing is like, this is temporary. I'll probably end up somewhere else. This is, in modern days, it's not like you work somewhere for like 40 years and then you were just like the fart guy.
But
so,
Dustin,
yeah.
I would ask you, what if theoretically like it was a super deal breaker for you? Like you go on this date and someone farts and you're like, absolutely not. This is like, I will not abide. Good. Now you know.
Right.
Like
no,
you got out of it before anything serious happened.
No, I agree with you that it could be like if somebody is just like you farted one time, hit the road, Jack. Like
I'm with Joy here. Yeah.
Like that is too much. But I guess it would really depend on like the amount and like frequency of it. Like if it was just a one-off, then you're fine. If it's just like if a person's just like free with it on the first date, then I'm gonna assume that their like second date is like pooping with the door open and stuff like that, and like that's where you lost me.
No, that's a discussion. That's its own discussion you have with someone. You go, so what's your line on that? That's a discussion.
Right, but you would assume that if a person is just like, just freewheeling it on the first date with the farting thing, that they're gonna like that their line is pretty liberal, is all I'm saying.
All right. I don't know. I gotta agree with Joy because Joy is pointing out in chat that she would pick the date because work people will forever always think of you as the fart person, even if you leave the company. I agree. I am thinking of a time when I dealt with somebody and it was not at a job. It was in a social setting, but it's not somebody that I knew well at all. It was like the first time I'd gotten, it was my first exposure to this person. And there was a lot of farting. And forever, I will now only think of that person as the farter. And I don't know them.
Right. But
I don't know, I don't know that I can ever not meet them again and think the farter.
He doesn't fart on me.
Whereas again, if it's a date, it feels like as a date, you're making that choice. You're like, I'm okay with this.
But okay, so first off, you're never gonna bring that up to that person. They may be the farter, but they're never gonna know that they were the farter.
No, I am not ever gonna say that to the person. Hey,
right.
you don't know this, but in my head, I call you the farter. No.
Yeah. And I don't know. It's just on that first date, you want to be seductive. You want to be whatever.
Maybe you haven't heard a sexy fart.
Yeah, I haven't. I guess I haven't. So it just feels like I will admit my ability to be Slav is very little, and it takes some time. So I'm ramping up into the Slav. So if I'm 3/4 of the way into the Slav and then I fart, then I'm back down to the bottom of the hill again. And I might not have time to get back up to the top. So I can't afford that. Whereas work, it'd be embarrassing, and maybe people will talk behind my back, but I'll never know. And I just don't want to ruin a good thing. That's all.
Or every time you go to make a presentation, they're like, but what was your number 2 choice? So no,
boo. You keep trying to get people on your side. I'm trying because I feel like I'm right. I don't know. You guys are crazy.
All right, Eric, what do you think?
Well, as somebody that's been farting this entire time, I definitely choose the first date. I'd rather fart on that because it's more human. It's endearing in a way.
It's endearing.
And, both of you made really good points. Both of you made very good points. I think the fact though that the work people would remember that forever, and you'd always be known as a farter. I don't think you could ever rise to CEO at that company. I don't know.
Yeah.
If that's what you wanted, of course. But unless you're the class clown of then obviously you take work presentation and have that room laughing. But I also, with a work presentation, you can also pawn off the fart on somebody else. It's first date, it's
Yeah, it's just you two, yeah. Maybe you get lucky and the waiter or waitress is at the table at the time and you're just wow, can you believe that person over there?
Wow, blaming the wait staff. Nice.
Not ordering the fish.
Yeah. Are we going to move on to question number 3?
I think so, yes.
like we're ending on a serious one, so like I shouldn't have done that because we're just coming off of farts. But like,
Yeah, this was the one to end on, but
yeah, this is like whatever. Here we are. Okay, so here are your options. You have two choices. You could either, like you died, you know you're dead now, and you can either choose to go spend every 2 weeks, 1 week or every 2 weeks, 2 weeks in hell, and then 2 weeks in heaven, and then 2 weeks in hell, and 2 weeks in heaven. Just do that forever, or you can flip a coin, and if you get it like heads, then you're just in heaven. If you get tails, you're just in hell. Which do you choose? I'm gonna go to you first, Eric. I know we ended on a dark one, but like we don't have to, because chat, if you've got a good one, let us know and we'll answer yours so that we're not ending on the heaven hell question. Please throw a would you rather in there and we will definitely answer it. I bought you some time to think about it, Eric. What do you got?
I think I'm gonna go with the trade every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Then you always have something to look forward to. And like if you're up in heaven, like you're like, I wonder what I'm missing out down there. Like what if it's super fun? And what if heaven sucks? Or vice versa, you know? Like at least you get the full afterlife, right? You get the experience of the entire afterlife.
Okay. All right. I'll let you go on that one. Although I probably will argue with you in a minute. Heather, what do you think?
As somebody who, anytime we've gone to Atlantic City, is like, I'll like put $1 in a slot machine, and if I win $3, I'm like, yeah, I'm good, I'm out. I'm not a gambler, so I would go with the every 2 weeks switch off, because I would be far too anxious and afraid of landing in the hell flip if you did the flip coin, and then I would be like, I should have just traded off.
Yeah.
So,
but you could just have nonstop good.
You could. I know it's a risk, but it's real. That's a really scary risk, because it's 50-50.
Yeah.
And I don't like those odds.
Yeah. Actually, this is the one time where I think I'm on the side with everybody else. Like I feel like I would not like that. Yeah, just like, because I think, Eric, you make a good point that like at least the whole time that you're in hell, you could be like, oh, but I just got to get through like 2 more weeks. I just got to get through like 2 more weeks, and then like good stuff. Granted, I don't know, like, there's the, like, I don't know how any of this works, because I don't know that there's really a heaven or hell, but, like, the other assumption would be that, like, whatever's happening in hell would give you such PTSD that you couldn't enjoy what was happening in heaven, but who knows? But heaven probably has, like, a magic cure for that, because it's heaven.
That's how I would choose to interpret it, that, like, it would be so great there that it would be, you'd forget it, and it would be worth it.
Yeah. You'd only have that, like, minute right before you're going back, like, oh, fuck, I gotta go. All right.
I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Chat is
nice
definitely chat's with us too. 3 people in chat also said that they would do.
Okay.
Oh wait, Marissa, hold on. Marissa is saying every 2 weeks, but flip a coin to see where you go. Interesting.
Oh,
Joyce says for chaos.
Yeah.
Oh man, I got 6 hells in a row.
Right, that would suck. All right, that was our last question. I was hoping chat was going to give us one to save us, but they didn't. So I guess we're ending on the heaven and hell question. I will think about that better next time. We should definitely have ended on the fart question, because I know our audience and I know us.
Yeah.
Cool. So Eric, thank you so much for being a guest on our show. Hold on, I got all sorts of buttons I got to press. Thank you so much for being a guest on our show. Where can people find out more about what you have going on?
You can follow me on Instagram at Eric.Moss. It's ERIC.MAUS. It's up on the screen.
Yeah.
I produce comedy videos, and I also act with the Chaos Network with these 2 people. And
yeah. So yeah, check both of those things out, and check us all out on December 13th. It'll be a really good time. Heather, what do you got going on?
Well, like you 2 fine folks, I also have the Chaos Network season finale on December 13th. It's at 7, right?
Yeah.
It's at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
I think the last thing just said that. And then the next day, right after, my musical improv group Red Shirts is doing a performance as part of Cosplay Cabaret, which is a cabaret of all people who do cosplay. And we will be doing an improv set set in the world of Star Trek: The Next Generation. And you can find out more about us at Red Shirts Musical Improv.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
And for me, I got the same stuff. I'm not going to bring it up again. You guys get it. But you can check us out at Super Important Stuff. It'll let you know what guests we have coming up. It'll let you know other fun little facts about the show. One of those facts being that we are not here next week because we are prepping for that sketch show. We will be back for our season finale, even though we're basically picking up the week after that. But, season finale, calling each year season, so our season finale will be coming up after that. And yeah, we don't know who our guest is going to be yet, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. And Eric, thank you so much for being our guest this week.
You appreciate the invite. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So, audience at home, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back in 2 weeks, and we'll bring you some other funny stuff. Have a good night.